This is a major case. The man accused of attacking Nancy Pelosi's husband back in court for day 2 of his federal trial in California. The defense does not dispute the video evidence in the case, which you're showing now. David DePape hitting Paul Pelosi in the head with a hammer. And his attorney laid out all of the wild conspiracy theories that she says prompted the defendant to go to the Pelosi's home in San Francisco that night. DePape pleaded not guilty to assault and attempted kidnapping. Trial attorney and legal analyst Misty Marris with us now. So you say this case is about why. The motivation is important here. The motivation matters. Explain what you mean.
So this case is in federal court, Marni, and it's really important to understand that the charges aren't just a simple assault and a simple attempted kidnapping that we would see in the state court claims, which he's also facing. The charges here relate directly to this involving a U.S. official. So it's assault on a close family member of a U.S. official in retaliation for them performing their duties. It's attempted kidnapping for the purpose of interfering with someone's duties as a U.S. official. So that's a very nuanced distinction. So that intent factor and the why and what the intent was on that night is going to be critical to the prosecution's case. And that's why I think we heard, and look, I'm going to call it a non-defense defense that was laid out in the opening statements. Instead of contesting any of the evidence or getting any of that excluded, they say, we're not contesting any of that. We're just going to explain why he came there that night. So pretty risky defense and focused on those right-wing conspiracy theories that the prosecution is also focused on. So it's going to be interesting to see how they're used differently in the course of the trial by each side in this case.
And for his defense, what are they saying the reason was, the conspiracy theory that led him there?
They had a very impassioned opening statement where they said he follows all of these conspiracy theories. When he went there that night, he thought he was protecting children. All of these wild conspiracies, jury, we know you might not believe them, but DePape believes these to his core, and that's what the defense focused on. What I find interesting, Marni, is it seems to be almost backdooring some sort of mental defect or insanity defense. However, they're not asserting that in the courtroom, but it's bringing in the idea that he bought into these conspiracies so much that he actually went to Nancy Pelosi's home. So I don't know how that's going to fly, especially when we know this evidence is coming in. You've got the horrific video, you've got a backpack full of zip ties and rope, and you've got his statement, which is not being contested, that he was there to sit Nancy Pelosi down and talk to her, and if he didn't like the answer, he was going to break her kneecaps. That's what the jury's going to hear. So the defense is going to try and make this nuanced distinction between the why of, it's not, he didn't want to assault Paul Pelosi because he's Nancy Pelosi's husband. He just ended up doing it. It's really, I don't know. That's why I call it a non-defense defense. And it's really going to require the jury to analyze these statutes and these very nuanced legal arguments.
Right. And it seems so cut and dry because you've got the video evidence in front of you, and you've got Paul Pelosi, who's going to take the stand as the victim in his own defense. That has to be major for the jury.
Of course, especially when it comes to the assault component of this is pretty cut and dry. And that's why that added requirement that the prosecution must show that the assault occurred because he's a close family member of Nancy Pelosi and was trying to retaliate against Nancy Pelosi as a U.S. official. That's that nuanced distinction. The state court claims, Marni, the state court charges is just a simple assault. I think he's probably going down on those. It's very, very easy to see from this video what happened. Look, it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out, and specifically because one of the defense they're calling as an expert is someone who is an expert in extremism and anti-Semitism research. So it's going to be interesting how they weave that expert testimony into this defense. And my question is, are we going to hear from DePape? Is he going to take the stand? Normally, I would say no. But if the defense is focused on his motivations, that opening statement didn't contest any of the evidence. It just sought to explain the why he took the actions that he did. I don't see how you get around all of those police interviews unless he actually gets up on the stand and attempts to explain it to the jury.
And they've put him on the list, so by all accounts, he will likely testify. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.